Hello, everyone. Just a quick kind of verbal commentary on the trading section, if you like, today. We were trying to sell NVIDIA and we got stopped out, and then I got distracted by some personal issues over the last week. So hopefully, more fully focused, and we start to kick some goals again. Well, we've still kicked some goals while I've been distracted, but we should. But it would have been nice to have caught NVIDIA, and it would have been nice to not have got stopped out of the US 500 last night. But just looking across the charts, the euro and US dollar, they're bouncing around a little bit, but I still think my central theme there, it's an unpleasant one, but I still think it's valid. You know what I'm talking about. NVIDIA, I think we're going to short it, but it probably could have a big bounce. We can't rule out a big bounce. And I'm actually trying to figure out which way to tilt my head because I do tend to lean one way. Anyway, too much TMI. Time out. I think NVIDIA can go all the way back to $90, but there could be some big bounces, and to sell just now is high risk of a big bounce. So we're going to sell now, but I've got to emphasize to you that it is a high risk movement at the moment. So we're just going to sell NVIDIA at the open, basically, which means a gap lower, we could get stopped out to the upside. So we're going to have a wide stop, is what I'm saying. So it's going to be high risk, wide stop, maybe a very small position. The US 500, I've already sent out a signal to sell at market. The Aussie 200 is trying very hard to rally, but I think it will tire. I think it is going to tire out. I think what's happening overall in the background is that the major fund managers in the US are actually saying it's time to get out of tech, perhaps, the mega caps, perhaps, and we've done well being short Apple, but they're going to buy some of the more traditional stocks. So that's why the Dow index could be supported. They're going to be buying some of the more traditional stocks. But the point I'm trying to make is here, I think there's going to be this shift out of the tech mega caps kind of meme trade that we've had into more established industrial names. But then that too is going to peter out, I would say, very quickly, perhaps even within 1 to 2 weeks. And we are entering a bear equity market because the fundamentals just aren't there. I mean, you get some positive US economic data, but it's still below COVID levels or below pre-COVID levels, depending on the indicator. And any of the data forms that, I'll talk about this more in the economics show, but the data, any data that reflects what's happening to the majority of people is very ugly. Any aggregate data where big spending by wealthy can hide what's happening to the broad economy looks much better. So I think this is a reflection and something we're going to have to learn to deal with due to the divergent wealth gap situation that we're seeing, and that is accelerating, not slowing. So the wealth gap, the gap, it's accelerating in terms of its expansion. So that's a very ugly socio-economic backdrop, and it never ends well. We're a long way from the never-ending well part of that, which will involve people just not being happy with the status quo. That will be part of the reason why Trump will be elected as president. It's part of the reason why in 5 states, Robert Kennedy is polling higher than either Biden or Trump. Okay, back to the data today. I do think we have to continue to look for stocks that could be vulnerable in a bear trend rather than look for stocks that could be a safe buy during a bear trend. I wouldn't be in that frame of mind. Gold and oil. Have a look at them. Gold's struggling a little bit. Oil, not so much. And I think they can accelerate to the upside. So we're long those. And I'm mulling whether in this signal service we want to do additional fresh signals to some kind of add to positions. that can deteriorate the overall performance of the original position because you have a higher probability of a correction the longer a trend's been going. So I'm just mulling that idea. So we'll see what I write in the actual signals. This has been a little bit of a drawn out session. I'll try and make them a little bit punchier in future, but I just wanted to get started on adding, a kind of personal verbal presentation to what I'm presenting to you with the charts and the brief comments. And I'm keeping the comments as brief as I can because I don't think you need a fresh essay every day on every market, and I think you have a busy life. So if I can just give you my view of charts, trend lines, and then a quick feeling snapshot and a trend direction signal, all for education purposes, I think that could be helpful actually in terms of being brief, which this video isn't. So I will work on that. I really wish everyone, and thank you for being members. And don't forget to tell your friends. Have a great day. Clifford Bennett.